Greetings, Diners, and welcome to another in our series of Bento Box Brunches here on the Doomstead Diner 8th anniversary week. And this Bento Box is, I think, my 6th, maybe my 7th Japanese meal that I have concocted from my one trip to Tokyo Restaurant, which is on the Parks Highway, going from Anchorage through Wasilla up to Denali National Park, and then finally Fairbanks it ends up in, okay? And our beverage today is what you might call the poor man's tequila sunrise. I've got vodka and orange juice and cranberry juice in it. All right. Now, real tequila sunrise uses tequila and grenadine, which is a liqueur. Okay. But I'm not drinking one of those today. All right. I'm going cheap. This is cheap. I'll do the tequila sunrise another day. It's prettier than this. Okay. And my bento box, goodbye to the Alaska prop, has in it, I discovered that in some of my other takeout boxes, there was still more sushi, there was still more shrimp, and whatnot. And I still have my, what do you call it, pot stickers. So I've got pot stickers, yes. All right, pot stickers are in here. I've got shrimp, tempura shrimp. All right, and I've got sushi. I've got some shrimp, yes. And then there's tuna and what I think is mackerel in there. And, oh, there's an anchovy topped tomato too. All right. And you've seen those before, so I'm not going to lift them up. All right, but there you go. All right, I can tilt it, and it doesn't spill, which is good. All right, and then of course there's sticky rice to eat as well. So there's plenty of food once again, and so if you say we're at 7 days now, and I probably spent, besides the $85 that I spent at the restaurant itself buying food, I have probably added or used an additional $20 in food. So call it 105 so far. Maybe 110. I'm not sure. All right? Not exact. But we're in that neighborhood. So that's 7 days into $105 means I spent about 70, 35, about $15 a day so far. I'm down to 15. I was at 20 before in a previous video. I'm down to $15 a day, which is still not, of course, in the Snap Card budget officially. But if you don't do it every week, then it can be in the Snap Card budget. And I bet you I can get this down to $10 a day before I'm done eating chap food. Which, as much as I love it, I'm getting tired of. Yes? Woo. All right. So, enough about the food. Oh, don't forget Alaska water. Yes? Best water in the world. And whatnot. And let's actually talk collapse today. I'm looking at the Google News headlines, and I find out that today, 2 hours ago, according to NPR, 14 Americans were taken off a cruise ship and flown to the U.S. who tested positive for coronavirus, which is currently looking like the real thing. It's communicated from one person to another, has human-to-human transmission. It's not visible while it is still incubating and contagious in people, so they can pass it on to others even though they're not yet sick. All right? So you don't know it until later. And its infection rate, I've read 2 to 1 or something along those lines. So it's got a fairly rapid doubling rate. And it hit first in China, which has, as we know, a huge population of Homo saps, 1 point some odd billion, 1.3, 0.5, who knows. But it's a big chunk of the total Earth population. And it hit in a fairly densely populated area in Wuhan, China. And so that's the epicenter, you know. That's where it's starting, or started, because it has already spread to other continents. It's already here in the fascist states of America. It's already in Africa. It's already in England. And who the fuck knows where else? Oh, Philippines. I can't remember all the stories I've read. But it's moving around fast. Okay? It's like in Leonard Cohen's Everybody Knows song. Everybody knows the plague is coming. Everybody knows it's coming fast. And it's me or you, baby. That's the way it goes. Everybody knows. We have a plague. And is it going to be a pandemic? Is it going to rival some of the influenza epidemics that we've had in years past? We've had Spanish flu, I think, took out 100 million people. Will it be worse than that? You know, will it kill 1 billion? It's possible. It is. I mean, there's a lot of the population that is weakened by, lack of food, lack of water, all sorts of things. A virus like this attacks the people who are weak. And they're the ones who die. And so it's not yet clear exactly how many people are going to die from this. But it's likely to be a significant number. It's already a significant number. It's in the thousands already, I believe. How's my Japanese food going? Ooh, that looks good. Oh, that's a nice piece of shrimp. Oh, God, I'd like that. My Japanese food, it's not quite as good as theirs. But, I do my best. At any rate, back to coronavirus, which is bad news for Homo sap at this point. So they are working on a vaccine, preventative vaccine for it, but I think the earliest estimates on that are a few months away. And in the meantime, even if they do get an effective vaccine created, you've got 2, 3, 4 months of doubling times. And, if you know the story about a chessboard where you put a penny on one square and then double it to 2 pennies on the next, and 4 pennies, 8 pennies, 16 pennies, 32 pennies, etc., 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 you get up into the millions of dollars by the time you've gone through all 64 squares. That is exponential math. And people don't generally grasp it. I don't know why, but they don't. So, that's what we're looking at right now, exponential growth. And, you know, I don't know where it's going to go. I don't know if this is the big one or not, but it might be. And for right now, I'm trying to stay as far away from that motherfucker as I can. All right? I'm here on the last great frontier. I say isolated most of the time. And don't go out much. And viruses and other bacterial organisms and so forth, they don't last well out in the great outdoors here, you know, when it's real cold like it is now. I think we're at -6 today. So, as environments go, this one is very healthy for me. Except that I'm really sick myself. Internally. I can't do anything about that right now. But I will be trying. I will be down in the lower 48 in, what's today? It's the 17th. I believe I leave next week. Yeah, I think on Wednesday or Tuesday of next week. So I'm down to 7 days. I got to get my shit together to get down there. And, you know, I don't know what I'm going to encounter in terms of diseases in Seattle. I mean, there's a lot of Chinese people there that fly in and out of Seattle all the time because it's a big tech center and there's a lot of biz people and whatnot, you know, high tech, and, you know, a disease like this, it can hit anybody. It could be a fucking billionaire flying on his private plane. You don't know. And then, you know, there's plane loads full of hundreds of tourists that are coming over all the time. So, I can catch it while I'm down there. If it's spreading, I don't know if it is or isn't. And I'm not going to wear a fucking surgical mask while I walk around or roll around on my cripple cart that I'm renting in Seattle. You know, just not going to do that. It looks so stupid. And, you know, if that's what gets me, that's what gets me. All right? Something's going to get me. And then I go on my trip, my big trip to the great beyond. And it's coming to pass. And that's all the doom. This time, until next time, here on the Collapse Cafe, Snack Guard Gourmet, cooking zone of the Doomstead Diner, where we have the endless bento box available to eat, which is really good. And great video, too, of Japanese food. Oh, that looks so good. Oh, God, I want that. But I'll have to do with my own for today. Hasta la Bento Box.